So what is Guy Garcia up to and would like to see ideally within the next few months and, I guess, years?
Within the next few months, well, I intend to keep working very hard to help build what we're doing at Digital City, which I think is a tremendous opportunity to extend the original vision of what we started doing 2 years ago and take it to a national and international level. It's a much larger company with some very skilled people there that we're working together with. I expect I'll be writing another novel.
Yeah, is it journalistically? Okay, where do you go?
Journalistically, you know, I'm working on a profile for David Byrne for the New York Times, which is I do in my increasingly limited spare time. But I'm a media animal enough that I can't resist continuing to do occasional travel stories, adventure travel stuff, and profiles for the Times and a couple other places when I can. Because as much as I'm in love with new media, as McLuhan said, new media incorporates all previous media. So, and television's not so bad either. So,
now, do I hear a movie?
A movie? Well, Skin Deep, you know, which just came out in paperback from UC Berkeley Press. Edward James Olmos' office called to take a look at it. So who knows? You know, might be his next directing project.
Okay. Now, if you know, I'd like to go back to the Skin Deep and the type of characters, because you're very, you know, I'd like to talk a little bit about you. And you said that you really didn't have the hard knocks, and it was. But we hear so much about writers trying to make it in today's world and not having it as easy. Do you think that there's reason for that?
Well, you know, I think everybody has their own experience. First of all, writing in books and fiction and novels is extremely hard. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done. So you have to be really driven. You have to have something to say. You have to really want to do it. For me, I mean, my own experience was I came to New York to be a journalist and was lucky enough to go to Columbia Graduate School and get a job at Time Magazine. And I learned a lot there. And I felt, for me, I gained the grounding and the confidence as a writer to tackle a novel. And I guess pull it off. And for me, it was a natural evolution from one step to the other. And again, you know, if you read my books, there are people of all stripes. You know, in Skin Deep in particular, it's about a Chicano who comes to New York, who becomes a professional, goes back to the barrio, and gets involved in the search for an illegal Mexican woman who represents, you know, she's kind of an icon to him. And there's a parallel story of the Virgen de Guadalupe, and she becomes a symbol to him of everything that he has lost touch with. And there's some scenes with his grandmother where he basically, you know, rediscovers a connection to his past and realizes how important it still is to him. So I see that as a very positive and uplifting message, that you can go forward and go back without sacrificing your success or your ethnic heritage.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Guy Garcia, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And I want to thank everyone. Thank Guy, I'm sorry, for a very insightful interview.